streams is? And then do you see a similar level of demand on the leisure side at the moment as you've explained to us on the corporate side?
Maybe I can answer first the second question. So on the leisure side, weekends away are becoming stronger and stronger. People are really looking to leave the city and get a proper experience outside of London. And so definitely on the leisure side, there is a strong increase and a strong interest on those retreats. Let's take an example. Look at how Soho House is doing well with their Soho Farmhouse. Like the people, it is literally London outside. It's like exactly the very curated people, like the right crowds. They speak, they address, they speak in the right language, they use the right materials, the smells. So there's definitely on the leisure side a really big interest. Going back to your first question, Matt, about like the split. The split really depends on what the property wants to target. So is it you're gonna have, let's say, 2 golf courses, and you're gonna have large event spaces where you can focus on the social side. So I'm talking about like weddings and any religious, from Indian to Jewish and to Christian weddings, and then also on the group side. So the challenge what you could have is just like, say, if you have over the weekends a lot of big golf groups, they of course will take a lot of space away. And if you have a high-end leisure guest, let's say the wife or the mistress goes to the spa, and then the guys go on the golf course. If you suddenly are interfering with 150 men which are playing around golf, the experience is not going to be, of course, be the same for that. So the split depends a bit on what you have, but let's say generally looking, typical golf resort around the M25. So Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday will be pretty much 95% will be groups and meetings, and then you have the complete swap on the weekends, where you can either have a 50-50 ratio, or you can have a definitely more leisure focus. If you have, for example, any bank holidays or school holidays, that will be, of course, really, really changing. And then one last thing you need to think is about what's around the property. How close are you to other bigger villages or towns, so where you could possibly attract the local crowds as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Interesting. So if we start talking about corporate again for a little bit, I have 2 questions around that. What are the kind of major industries that you focus on in corporate? I guess why do you focus on different ones and particular ones, or ones in particular? And then secondly is, what's the general approach when you think about managing corporate churn? Can you control that? Do you try and have just the same clients locked in for years and years and years? So, for example, KPMG runs as you said, HSBC runs a corporate event. Do you try and sign them up year on year, or is it a little bit more, is the churn a lot higher, I guess?
So industry segments, again, a bit defined. Let's say on average, all the financial institutes, so I'm talking about all the big banks, all the investment bankers, consultancies. So these, I would say, these are pretty strong segments to focus on. Then automotive sector, that's also another pretty strong, when I say automotive sector, I'm speaking about like car launches, where they invite journalists to experience a new car. Cosmetic and luxury industry, so I would put them together under the luxury segment. So luxury cosmetics, that's anything between a typical incentive trip and product training. And I would say these are like the top 3 segments you should be aiming and targeting for that type of property.
Sure.
And then
so the churn point.
Yeah, and the second one, there's a second question regarding like the appeal, if you should like be continually working with one different client. Of course, everybody likes to have repeat business, because like repeat business is you build loyalty, you build trust,